Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the RWT Podcast. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me, as always, is my boy DC Daniel Crimmins. Lots to discuss in the week of professional wrestling. We do have Backlash this Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN.
You mean to say
Backlash? You know what it is for me still? 20 years later, that commercial is still so fucking funny. I'm not going to lie. As I remember watching it as a 14-year-old, and I'm like, do you really have to yell that loud? Really?
Like, some of them I get, but Triple H, like
Backlash.
As his face is shaking, he's like,
Backlash.
What are you trying to be, Christian Bale as Batman?
I'm Batman. Well, no, here's the thing. Like, he was the main event of that show, Cena, Triple H, and Edge. But Cena and Edge just said it normally, and then Triple H had to just, emphasize. And I'm like, all right, bro.
And then we had Snitsky. Backlash.
Exactly. Yes. Can I just say something on the real? If you look at that whole entire card of Backlash 2006, that show sucked because that was still the one with Shawn Michaels and God against Vince and Shane, and then the Holy Spirit Squad.
You know, I wonder, can you imagine the heat they would get if they did that now?
Oh my God, with how everything is with religion now, especially in 2026. Oh yeah.
You know what? I think Vince would do it. If he hadn't done it then, he would do it because he loved to do shit like that.
Oh, dude, he was crazy. He was nuts, and that was pretty much the general consensus of our childhood in the 90s.
And a bit perverted.
Yes. I mean, we just literally celebrated 25 years of Vince making Trish Stratus run around and bark like a dog. So, I mean, hey, there's that. There's stuff you can't get away with now, ladies and gentlemen. Well, speaking
I gotta wonder how their grandchildren, I
don't know how you deal with that, but I mean, hey, here's Granddad over here chasing the chicken to prepare for the Royal Rumble 99 or spitting holy water in the church.
And here's Stone Cold Steve Austin giving the stunner to the President of the United States and the Secretary of Education.
It's the world that we live in is just so crazy. I cannot even say how crazy it is. And speaking of crazy, we did have this week. So we had 4 more releases in the WWE, and I'm sure there's going to be more coming. So this was reported by Wrestling Observer News, Figure 4 Radio, Figure 4 Wrestling Online. Brian Alvarez has confirmed that Kingston and Woods decided to leave WWE after being asked to restructure their deals. We can also confirm that in case of the New Day, it was their decision to leave based on what TKO was offering for a new deal. To be specific, New Day's deals were not up. They were asked to restructure the TKO deals. They didn't like the deals, so they were then granted their release. So after all those years, and Kofi would have been celebrating 20 years within the WWE come this November, and Xavier Woods, who has been there for, my goodness gracious, 14 years? Because he joined right after the Consequences Creed run in TNA. And he came right to WWE. I will say this. Did they get stale towards the end? Yes. Yeah. The heel turn on Big E was fantastic because we thought it was going to be one or the other, but both of them turned. Then they won the tag titles. Then they lost the tag titles. Then they had Grayson Waller with them. And then poor Xavier got hurt. And then Grayson's trying to get into the New Day and impress Kofi. And then here we are now. I mean, can you blame them, though? Because when they're saying you want to restructure their deals, which is another way of saying, hey, we want you to take a pay cut, can you blame them for saying, no, we're not going to take a pay cut?
No. And honestly, it's for Kofi especially.
Yeah, for Kofi,
we thought who had been in the company near 20 years.
Yep.
I mean, some of these releases, and in years past, there are some where you're like this, where you're just like, oh, are you kidding me?
Right.
Which is pretty much everybody that they released so far this round, and from last week. But some of them younger, and then there are others where you're just like, yeah, well, I can kind of see it. But Kofi has put in the work. Xavier Woods has put in the work, and they gave him the King of the Ring as just, like a little bit like, okay, and here you go. But I don't know if you saw it, Mike. It was reported today that WWE would like to keep Creed, or probably what he'll go back to is like Austin Creed.
Mm-hmm.
They want to basically keep him around for the video game stuff. Basically, Tyler Breeze.
Which, yeah, we see, that's what Tyler Breeze does. It's like he does the video game stuff, or like if you remember, like he'll occasionally maybe do an NXT match. That's what they want him to do, pretty much.
And the thing that gets me is that's good for Tyler Breeze. That's fine. This is what he chose. Mm-hmm. But Woods can still fucking go.
I mean, Up, Down, Down does great numbers and stuff, but still, like, he still wants to wrestle.
Exactly. And I look at it, I would bet money they're going to go to AEW.
Well, in the matches with the Bucks, Edge and Christian, Rascals will be here all day with how many people that they could wrestle in AEW.
Exactly. And, like, the best part is Kofi can use his name. He can use Kofi. It's his name.
Yes.
He can't use Kingston.
Because WWE owns it.
But he doesn't need to. Like, it's his first name. I mean, Cody initially couldn't use Rhodes because, hey, that was Vince.
And it worked with just Cody. Like, it just worked being Cody.
And he legally changed his name to Rhodes.
I mean, yeah.
So, like, they can't stop you.
I mean, Kofi even just makes sense. Or Kofi and Woods. Like, you mentioned perfectly. Like, call him the day. Have him go against the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah. Or, if Woods gets hurt, now hear me out on this.
Okay.
Edge and Kofi, call it Cope and Kof.
Cope and Kof. Okay. You know what it is, too, for me? It's just, like you mentioned Kofi. Like, he debuted on the main roster in 2008. Kofi Mania, the feud with Randy Orton in 2009, multiple tag team championship runs, Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion. The man did everything. He came out with a Jamaican accent, for God's sake. Then the Jamaican accent goes away. Hey, aren't you supposed to be Jamaican? Like, so many.
One of the funniest moments in WWE history.
It is. It was fantastic. But the thing, too, is he's a part of this. The Royal Rumble spots. He made so much money and moments within this company. And Xavier, like you mentioned, like he always wanted to win the King of the Ring. He won the King of the Ring, multiple tag team championship reigns. But you have two pieces of that group, unfortunately, are no longer with WWE. Big E looks to be retired. But yeah, it sucks. It's officially the end of the New Day.
But MVP is essentially done.
Yes.
You know, I think he said he's had injuries, and that's fine. What if excuse me, you have them show up in AEW as the Day?
I like that.
And you have Xavier Creed, Kofi, and their manager, E.
I like that.
His real name is Ettore.
Ettore. Yeah, I know. That would be something. I've been trying to think of like what they could do. I mean, I thought about a TNA run just because Xavier has the tie-ins.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And I would like to see them there because they could do some NXT stuff. But I'm like, AEW's calling because they have that friendship with Kenny Omega. God.
New Japan would be fun.
Put him in the junior division or New Japan tag team division. Hell yeah.
But here's the other thing, and I think it bears mentioning. They did absolutely fuck all with the heel run. You could have done so much more with it.
Yep.
And I guarantee you they were slowly working them back to being faces again. You had them turn on Biggie, and then you had nothing.
Well, dude, with this feud, you started to think like he was trying to get Javon Evans, and Javon Evans said no. And you could start to see cracks like Grayson Waller was disrespecting Kofi. So you're thinking, okay, Kofi's going to turn babyface, and they're going to get rid of Grayson Waller. But it just, I don't know.
I think the other piece to this puzzle is Grayson Waller. where does this leave him? I would ask you that, Mike. Where do you suppose this leaves Grayson Waller?
Well, last time we saw Grayson, he got mollywopped by Obafemi. If I'm Grayson Waller, obviously A-Town Down Under's no more. I would just put him back in NXT.
I would personally, if I think an NXT repackage is essential. This gimmick, it's flat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's never really worked on the main roster. He can go. He's got the talent.
And it's not his fault. It's just how he was booked.
Exactly. You know, it was getting over in NXT, and then they brought him up to the... Hi, Paul!
Hi, Paul! Welcome the RWT Dead Man to the show. Hello, Paul.
Hello, everybody.
He was basically, you know, was kind of getting over in the NXT, part of the 2.0 crowd, which you and I have mentioned on this wonderful show called Uncaged, Cheap Up Numero Un.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we have the reports of the releases not being done.
No.
Would it be all that shocking to see Grayson Waller on that list? Because they've got nothing for him.
No, not at all. And before we even go to Tongaloa and Jeff Cobb, a.k.a. JC Mateo, Paul, we want to get your thoughts about the New Day and the fact that they said no to a pay cut.
You know what? It's interesting that came about, you know, and I love both of their posts, both of their IG posts, you know, on IG and Twitter, and you guys can go look for them. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have already showed them, but the fact is that it's just interesting on how much love and the outpouring of love from so many people. Forget like just the fans, but I mean people in the wrestling industry. The outpouring, and not only wrestlers everywhere, content creators, and just like you people saw this and they were just like, wow, of all people, it was them.
Mm-hmm.
Of all people that they ended up cutting, it was the New Day. It would just came as a shock to so many people. And to hear so many people with the outpouring of love and just anger, outright anger that they posed. I mean, it was just crazy.
And Paul, I don't know if you saw it, but like you had people that had never worked with either of them before.
Yeah.
And are just like 19 years in this, you know, and just the class act that Kofi posted. I think he posted his yesterday. And you have other people in AEW that have shared it, have I don't know what the thing in Instagram where you added to your story. I don't know that lingo. Gotta make myself feel old, but I digress.
Shows that you're old.
I would not. I would be willing to guarantee you that somebody in AEW has at least had informal talks with them already.
Kenny Omega, Young Bucks.
Because, and you saw the the Young Bucks, you know, their new header, not their new header, but their new I guess headline.
Yeah,
under their name, you know, now they want to. I would be remiss if Tony Khan didn't bring them in, and I saw somebody else say, why not put them part of the Hurt Syndicate?
No.
Hold on, hold your breath. I don't want to get like that, but give them an opportunity, you know, to that one. One day we'll wrestle the New Day and everyone will rejoice. Remember this bio. You know, it was bound and determined to happen, whether it was later on down the road. And a lot of us assumed that WWE, these two would be lifers.
Yeah.
I mean, after Kofi Mania and whatnot, I mean, and I feel bad for Austin Creed, you know, Xavier Woods, like he never really got a singles title run.
No, I mean, he got King of the Ring, but that was it.
I know, and that was the worst part. And if you would have got King of the Ring, like say now, you get a shot at a title.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy part, is that this dude has been in this company for 16 years and he's never held a singles title.
Well, and not only that, Paul, but when he was King of the Ring, he had that little, mini feud with Roman, and then Roman steps on the crown and destroys it, and then they never talk about it again.
That was it. That was literally the only thing he did with the bloodline.
I come back to Control Alt Delete. Never happened.
Here was Kofi's post. It's taken me 2 full days to respond to all my texts. I hadn't been on social media until today, and I'm overwhelmed by all the messages here too. So much love, so I can't help but to be filled completely with gratitude. My story has been nothing short of remarkable, and I am truly blessed to have such an illustrious, accolade-laden, and most importantly, fun-filled career. I made my childhood dream become the most wonderful reality. Throughout this journey, I'm so thankful to have been surrounded by great friends and to have built so many unbreakable connections with people that I'm very proud to call my family. Some people go through life without ever experiencing a love like I have for Woods and E. That bond alone would have made this whole experience worth it. There are far too many people to mention by name here, but to everyone who has ever supported me, guided me, helped me, taught me, cheered for me, praised me, stood up for me, and even rooted against me, thank you. I appreciate you more than words can say. My main mission has always been a simple one, to provide a comfortable life filled with heartwarming memories for my family, and largely in part to all of you. I can proudly say that I have achieved that goal and more. This wasn't supposed to be a novel, so let me wind it down with some advice. Do your best to live a life without regrets. Control what you can control. Always give it your all and fight hard for what you believe in. Do not ever compromise or accept less than your due when it comes to your worth. Find the courage to believe in yourself and fearlessly pursue your goals and dreams, because anything is possible. The kid was too small, too short, skinny, and scrawny, was never supposed to make it in this land of giants, yet here we are. And so, as the sun sets on one chapter, so too must it rise in another. Tomorrow is indeed a new day. Beautifully said. Beautifully said, Kofi.
It's that one part about I can't remember what the hell he said. About now I'm over here looking at it.
Knowing your worth.
Yeah, about knowing your worth. And it was so true for both him and Xavier. And even Big E. And I feel sorry for Big E, because now he just has to be on that panel and sit there and know that his friends, his best friends, the guys that he bonded with for the last 10 plus years are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know how hard that is going to have to be for him?
Mm-hmm.
That's the part, that's just hard for us as fans to watch. And it shouldn't have happened this way. It shouldn't. Point blank.
And the other statement here is from Mr. Austin Creed. For the past 16 years, WWE has been my home. It's where I grew up, found myself, failed, learned, and got to live out things the younger version of me could only dream about. When I first walked into FCW, I just wanted a chance to prove I belonged and to bring something different to professional wrestling. That chance became a life full of moments I'll carry with me forever. WrestleMania, championships, King of the Ring, arenas around the world, and the gift of connecting with all of you by being myself. The New Day gave a bond with Kofi and Big E that I'll cherish for life. You believed in us even when our ideas were wild, and because of that, we got to show people that being unapologetically yourself is a strength. Up, Up, Down, Down became another piece of that same mission, a place for joy, friendship, and humanity. I'm so thankful to everyone past and present who helped build it brick by brick, to the locker room, producers, trainers, crew, camera teams, ring crew, everyone behind the scenes, and the props department. Thank you. WWE has the most special and hardest working props department that you'll ever find. Love you guys, and none of this happens without you. And to everyone who's been part of this ride, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for letting me be Xavier Woods. Thank you for giving me the confidence to walk away as Austin Creed. Again, beautifully and eloquently said from Xavier Woods.
I really feel this one especially is going to come back and bite them in the ass. It started last year with Karrion Kross, with how they fucked him over. And that was the first one where everyone was just like, wait, what the fuck are you doing? You understood in years past. Now it seems like things are, turning on the other side, where we know it's fucking corporate greed. we know it's because the WWE is almost $4 billion in debt. Oh, yeah. People, this is verifiable information. The WWE parent company, TKO, is in nearly $4 billion in debt. How did they get that way? You may ask. Well, let me tell you. Endeavor Holdings, which was the parent company of UFC. They purchased Zuffa out from the Fertitta brothers. Now, in order to buy WWE, they leveraged the company. Now it's to the tune of almost $4 billion. So they are trimming everything. Why do you suppose we are seeing increased reports of UFC fighters that are saying, we're getting paid shit? Record-breaking Gates, we're not getting anything.
Now,
it's bleeding over into WWE.
Now, Daniel mentions reports. We'll go to this report next. So this is from PW Insider, and it speaks that a pretty majorly pushed talent, or if you listen to Uncle Dave, it wasn't that big talent, but nonetheless, was reportedly asked to take a 50% pay cut last week and allegedly did. The name of the talent is unknown, as it cannot be confirmed 100% that this was the case, but the timing of that claim was interesting, as it took place a day before news broke of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods' departure. So someone else took a pay cut. They did not.
Grayson Waller, maybe?
Who knows, but it's crazy just to see. Again, we've said it so many times. We've seen it all over the internet and all over the IWC. And Mike Johnson said it perfectly in an article he put out today on PW Insider. This is not the same WWE anymore.
No. And to further that point,
go ahead.
I would just add, if you are somebody that is currently, in, say, New Japan, or you're currently elsewhere, maybe in AEW where your deal is about to come up, why would you want to sign with WWE at this point? You've got people. Aleister Black wasn't even back a full year and they fired him again.
Yep.
Why is anyone going to want to do this and go through that emotionally? I mean, I'm sorry, but WWE is not the golden company that it used to be.
No, it's just crazy that Jeff Cobb wasn't even there a year. Like, he was literally like a few days, about a week short of being there for a full calendar year, and never had like 4 singles matches.
Yep, and
was just part of the MFT. Was a tag team champion, kind of, sort of, and he was just like, he was there. It's like he wasn't anything else. Like, we never got to see the Jeff Cobb that was in New Japan. We never got to see the one that was in Lucha Underground. We never got to see any of that. And that's the crazy part of all this, is that we are stuck in where we're at, and it shouldn't be that way.
No. I mean, Tonga Loa, to go into your point, Jeff Cobb was a shocker for all of us, just because he was just like Paul mentioned, just the MFT guy, didn't stand out. He was just a part of that, and we all know what Jeff Cobb can do. I'm sure he's going to go back to New Japan. Same with Tonga Loa, the infamous Tonga Loa. Look, I love Tonga, but he was just not. He just wasn't, no. And a lot of botches and just a lot of mistimings. He was on the mend there. And I even said this in the last show with Uncasia, Daniel and I did, that will be out this week. We'll put up a cheap pop number 2 there. And I'll say it with you guys. They teased on SmackDown of Powerhouse Hobbs and Jacob Fatu having that conversation about growing up on the streets and all that. And then Solo would also come up to him because he's trying to get him maybe to join the MFTs because there's history there. You know who we are. So there's a part of me that thinks, like, when we get to them, we'll do our Backlash predictions, that when we get there, that Powerhouse Powerhouse Hobbs, a.k.a. Royce Keys, is going to turn heel and take the spot of Tonga Loa, and he'll be in the MFTs. I hope not.
Are you going to make him paint his face too?
Well, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Jeff Cobb and Tonga Loa were the other ones to go. I mean, we all mentioned Jeff Cobb and just how immensely talented he is, former Olympian as well. Do you guys have any thoughts about Tonga Loa?
the worst part is that I get it. Tongaloa wasn't exactly the best wrestler, and I get it. He's had a lot of botches, and that much was evident. That much was evident by every time he would people would catch him from the side or video there, even on TV. It was just horrible. But he's also been injured for the last I don't know, I think 4 or 5 months. He had been injured,
something like
and
that.
He had been out, and he hadn't really been doing much, and he wasn't really there. So it was just like, okay. It was just so horrible to watch the Wyatt Six leave. Wyatt Six just bounce out. Be the whole group. Not just one person, but the entire group.
Right.
You never did anything with Nikki Cross. You never, put her in any position to try and wrestle for any title. Matter of fact, I don't even remember her wrestling.
No, she just wrestled.
In this last year that they did all this, I don't remember her wrestling. I remember her being scary, but I don't even remember her wrestling. Was she even in like the Royal Rumble? Was she even in
She did like a mixed tag with Scarlett and Cross when the Wyatt Six are feuding with the Final Testament on the house shows, but she's only just been in the tag matches.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you did nothing with her.
Right.
It's disheartening for fans, for us as fans who have been invested with this company for so many years. We know what Nikki has done, and it's like she wasn't being shown any love or respect. None of them were. And then you get rid of the Motor City Machine Guns, and then what? You literally got rid of your entire tag team division.
It's such a shame too, man. And I mean, we got to bring this point up too, because
to touch on Nikki Cross real quick. I remember when she debuted with Sanity, and just seeing like the spark, and it's like I remember seeing that thing. I'm like, who is she? Like, she had that aura about her that not a lot of wrestlers have, where you see them, you may not know who they are, but you see them for the first time, you're thinking, who is that? And you want to see more of that person.
Agreed. And speaking of
Rowan,
yeah. Speaking of someone else that we also want to see, so this was also reported from Brian Alvarez. There is a belief within WWE that Kairi Sane could show up at Backlash to finish the Io Sky and Asuka angle. Within WWE, it's felt that there is better than 50% chance that Kairi shows up at Backlash to at least finish off that storyline.
Oh, yes, because bringing her back to finish a story is exactly what people want. That's what they want. That's exactly what we want. We want her to come back to finish a story, and then, you know what? You got to go.
Deuces. It's like with Heath Slater when he wrestled Drew McIntyre after he got released during the pandemic era. All right, see you later, Heath.
And then they brought him in for that. He got fired before that. They brought him in for like one day, thinking he was going to maybe get his job back. No,
you just wrestled Drew, and that was it.
And if I'm Kairi, I'm saying, fuck you.
I would. I'd say, fuck you guys.
Like,
you guys got rid of me. I don't need to fucking be there. Deuces. And obviously, I'm not going to take a 50% pay cut. So,
do they really think that if they're thinking, oh, hey, we'll bring her back, and then everything will be good, fans will stop? That's only going to make it worse.
No, it'll just make it worse if they do that.
And by the way, some people should not wear hats. That motherfucker's one of them.
Carlos Silva. All right, so we'll get to Carlos Silva.
You don't look good in a hat, and I get it. You're bald. I'm bald too. Bald.
No, I know I'm going bald, so.
Bald.
So we'll go to Carlos Silva next. So Carlos Silva was making the news round this week. So here's what happened. Carlos Silva responded to Will Ospreay, bruv, saying him pulling TNA talent versus AEW was cowardly shit. And this was Carlos Silva's response. We were asked when we were looking at our TV deal, what could be the best night? And we started looking at all the nights and we said, you know what? Everyone's got their nights. We're on Thursday night, so we should be on Thursday night. So if someone's going to come on to Thursday night against us, we're going to take that seriously. If someone's going to block us from going into a venue because they're not allowed to talk to us because then another organization is there, we're going to take that seriously. That's the kind of stuff that happens. So when I hear all of the chatter, I smile, and it's okay. Will Ospreay and everyone can come at me, but we're going to do what's best for TNA. We're going to do what's best for our champions and what's best for the fans. We're going to keep doing that. And that is what Carlos Silva had to say in response back to Will Ospreay.
That sounds like such a Triple H fucking Paul Levesque
salad. It's a word salad.
Oh, I think it's a case of MJF and Dolph
on Chat GPT.
Yeah, MJF and Nick Nemeth still wanted to do their Creative Pro match, and Carlos Silva said no. And if you do that, you're not gonna work here. So Dolph said okay, and then we got Bear Bronson and Nick Nemeth at Creative Pro. I gotta say, I don't think it was Carlos. I think it was more he knows who he works with, and that's got to be something from TKO that told him, "Hey, man."
You know what? I think that goes beyond being a Triple H move. I think that's a Nick Khan move.
I think that was Nick Khan.
I think that too.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, Triple H gets a lot of bullshit, and justifiably so.
But he has to deal with a lot of
bullshit. No.
Let me say that I think at this point, it's Nick Khan that's running the show. As a CEO, he's the big dick swinging here. He's the one. He's the guy who's running the show. And he'll let Triple H be the public face of everything. Rest assured, he's running it.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm about 100% on board with that. I really, really am, because it doesn't seem like Paul Levesque would want to get rid of a lot of the talent that they've gotten rid of. Although, that one comment, that one post that we had last week, and it said that Triple H sat in on the releases and he agreed to them, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, you can't tell me that reluctantly he wasn't just there like, I don't feel right about it. I don't like it. But you know what? Because because you guys are in charge, I'm just going to go with it. That's almost like sitting there and listening to Vince and just going along with everything.
Pretty much.
Like, or how do we know that, Nick Khan didn't look at Triple H and just say, you're on this? Because at this point, Triple H works for Nick Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Khan works for Ari Emanuel. If Ari Emanuel decides, hey, you know what? He'll call up Nick and he'll say, hey, Nick, we need you to get rid of X amount of dollars. If Triple H steps out of line, even though he's part of the family, what's to stop Ari Emanuel and Nick Khan from saying, putting out a thing that says, WWE has come to terms on the release of Paul Levesque effective immediately.
And that's fine. But who are you going to get in there to go do this? And obviously, from what we've read on social media, they're using AI. So why the hell do they need Triple H other than being the face of a company?
They got
to tie this into the New Day. Those two especially, this should serve as a warning to anybody that thinks that they have tenure with WWE. You should look at this and be aware. Keep your eyes open, because this would tell you that, hey, doesn't matter whether you've been here, a year, 6 months, or whether you've been here almost 20. We can get rid of you, and maybe we will. You know what? Triple H, they could get rid of him tonight, and I guarantee you they would call Shawn Michaels and they would just say, Shawn, you're in.
I will always say this. As of right now, as far as bookers go and where we are in the current product, I still think Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker are the two best bookers now in WWE.
Which feels weird.
Which really is weird to say, but definitely Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker are the best bookers right now. To go on to your point about the AI and the chat GBT, everybody has been going bonkers about what we saw with NXT last week with the Zarya promo talking about Sol Ruka and the end of their feud. That was an AI promo of Sol and Zarya. What did you guys think about that? How we're using AI now more with the storylines and video?
I'm trying to understand the complex reason behind it. And I get it. You may not exactly, okay, here, I'll go back. Let's go back to the episode of Netflix series, fucking the Unreal one.
Yeah, Unreal.
Let's go back to that. Let's go. You go back to the thing that happened between Triple H and Road Dogg.
Yeah.
And neither one of them can really come up with a definitive way to get Chelsea Green over, or figure out what to do with the Women's United States Championship. And it's like, you listen to them and it's so confusing. And I get it. Nothing is perfect, but you need to have an idea. And I agree with something that Paul Heyman said, is that you should think in advance. You should think not just next week. You should think a month from now. Better yet, why not think a year ahead from now as to where you want that title to be, and who you want it to be on. And yes, of course, along the way there will be injuries and and things that just happen to happen, maybe with a competitor, that in other words, something may be botched. In other words, we can go back to the Thea Hale Blake Monroe incident. She knocked the wind out of her. All of a sudden, now she's the North American champion, and then she's just like, whoa! I wasn't supposed to have this happen, but thank you. Things happen. Cards subject to change, as they always say. I understand it. I get it, and I completely respect it. But you need to have some sort of idea what you want to have with that title. How many people do you want to have it on before the next calendar year? Before the end of 2026 and going into 2027? And I agree with another thing that I agree with Paul Heyman is like, when you look at WrestleMania, it's nice to know what you're going to do this year, but what are you going to do next year? Think ahead, so this way things work for you. You can make all these plans work in your favor, and all you have to do is just mix and match, make everything work. It's almost like a puzzle.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what else we're making work now. So we'll go to this news story next. So CW Network and Roku.
Can we just, get Triple H out of there and put Paul Heyman in charge? Because imagine what Paul Heyman could do with, take the reins off, no pun intended, with TKO money. Just let Paul do whatever.
I agree. So speaking of that, we have CW Network and Roku announced a partnership launching in fall 2026 that will bring CW programming to the Roku channel for next day streaming. This includes WWE NXT being made available to stream on the Roku channel every Wednesday following the live Tuesday broadcast. And of course, the other news to that being that CW is going to start showcasing NXT premium events. So what are your guys' thoughts?
Like, is it another app we have to fucking pay for?
No. Nah. It's just on the Roku. Yeah. And I mean, you don't really have to pay for it. It's just, I know. Yeah. And I don't know about the whole CW thing. I mean, is it going to be on the CW network? And we're actually going to be able to, are we actually going to be able to watch all these PLEs on the CW?
That'd be cool.
The CW network has acquired the rights to broadcast NXT premium live events. Exclusively on the CW, beginning with the Great American Bash later this summer. The CW will broadcast 20 PLEs and their entirety live on both coasts over the next several years, including Stand and Deliver, Deadline, and Vengeance Day, with the addition of NXT PLEs to the CW's lineup. The network is now the exclusive home for all NXT programming, which showcases NXT's hottest up-and-coming superstars, also airing weekly live NXT installments every Tuesday night. WWE will continue to produce all PLEs.
Okay, that answered my question.
Just a thought, but why not have them do AAA as well?
I'm cool with that.
Here's a thought.
I mean, we're already getting it on YouTube.
Yeah, we already get it on YouTube, so who cares?
But think about it. You put that on CW, which on national television.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I found ECW back in the day?
Go ahead.
Scrolling channels. And it was on, and Mike, I know you being a New Yorker, you'll remember Empire Sports Network.
I remember that. I also remember watching old school.
No, it was the MSG channel before it was called the MSG channel.
Yes, and I also remember watching it on WLNY TV 55 and all that good stuff.
And I just remember scrolling, and I see Bam Bam Bigelow yeeting Spike Dudley into a freaking crowd, and I remember thinking, like, this doesn't look like WWE. And just seeing it's like, this is awesome. And I think that could be the same thing for AAA in the United States to the casual viewer. I mean, we all know who they are.
Yep.
So
I think they're doing, I mean, if you go look at their numbers, they are doing really, really good numbers. I mean, even for the Saturday time slot that they have, and which is pretty much about the same time as about the same time as Collision comes on.
Or Collision goes off, yeah.
Or as Collision's going off. I mean, I just think that they're doing good numbers on YouTube, which is great. And I know Fox Sports Deportes, which is here, obviously. But I know they're actually doing Fox down in Fox Espanol in Mexico. And Fox all the way around the world. So I think for here, yeah, I would like to see them have a broadcast, be on a broadcast network, to have, be showcased.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of showcase.
By the way, Paul, those that ESPN, or not ESPN, the Fox channels that you mentioned, we can get them here, but it's usually through satellite or like a really expensive cable package, but it is possible.
Well, speaking of possible, and it's definitely something that really gave us a lot of attention. Giselle Shaw defeated Tiffany Neves to become the new NWA World's Women TV Champion. Shaw's victory over Neves comes just 2 weeks after her 8th MLP Women's Canadian Championship defense at Multiverse. Later this month, she will have held the title for a full year. Congrats to the quintessential diva on becoming a double champion. Giselle Shaw getting the titles. I got to tell you something. Love Giselle Shaw from TNA, Wow Women of Wrestling, and especially just anything that she does because she's hilarious. I got to tell you, she's another one that's been killing it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she won't be in WWE because, well, she's trans, but,
Oh, you're going there with it. I don't mean to laugh, but I hear where you're coming from. That's very true.
I'm pointing out the obvious. I mean, you already know they have gay women that are there, and bisexual women that are there, and it's just hello, Captain Obvious came into the room.
Tell us when Paul's telling lies.
So here, speaking of not telling lies, was AJ Styles sent the message to the WWE departures. My biggest fear in my own career was that I wouldn't get to finish. It's kind of one of those things where they didn't get to finish what they signed to do, and I know it's going to bother them. Don't let it bother you. Don't let this business destroy who you are. You are obviously great because you made it to one of the biggest wrestling companies in the world. There's no doubt about that. We have no idea what the circumstances were to get you where you couldn't be there in the WWE anymore, but that doesn't mean it's over for you. So just keep that in mind. Keep your head up and see whether it takes you next. Who knows where that'd be? It may be wrestling, maybe not, but just don't let it destroy you. Spot on.
Spot on, AJ. Spot on.
That take and the one that Matt Cardona is always posting is, to me, those are the right takes. You look at when Matt Cardona got released in, what was it, 2020, right?
Yep, pandemic era.
And look what he did. Completely reinvented himself to the point where I remember an interview he did where he said, if WWE brings me back, great. If they don't bring me back, great.
I look at it from
I want to go back to something real quick. But no, let's do this first, and then I want to go back to something that we originally started talking about. Go ahead. Let's talk about Chelsea Green.
So Chelsea Green,
beautiful Chelsea Green.
Michael?
Yeah. Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green shared that she had a heart procedure done after doctors caught her SVT. Best wishes and a speedy recovery to Chelsea. So here's Matt Cardona and Chelsea. Chelsea Green posted, after 10 years, doctors finally caught my SVT, and I was able to get a heart procedure done 3 hours later, and I'm on the mend. Which, speedy recovery to Chelsea. We love you, Chelsea.
You know what? To think that she's had that for 10 damn years.
Crazy, right?
And they never caught it.
And they never caught it, and they never knew exactly what it was. It's 10 damn years that she had it. That's crazy.
I also have a little bit of a gripe with what happened on SmackDown with Chelsea Green. So for those that didn't see SmackDown last week, Chelsea Green, my bad, thank you. Chelsea Green came up with the wheelchair after Tiffany Stratton was talking to Julia and Kiana James, because as of this recording, they're doing Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James on SmackDown for the United States title. So she comes up and she's trying to be like Tiffany's bestie. And I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me the woman that broke her foot is now all of a sudden she's like trying to kiss her ass and be like, Tiffany time and put her like in her secret Hervis like we had. And since there's no Piper Niven and they got rid of Alba Fire, I'm like, that makes no sense. Like why is she kissing her ass now? That kind of makes no sense, like at all. And why is Gunther going for the world heavyweight title now with Cody Rhodes when he's on Raw? And Jacob Fatu, who's a SmackDown superstar, is going for the Raw title? Like, that makes no sense. I think they had to do something since Randy's hurt, so they put Gunther over there to go against Cody now, and that'll be
it makes no sense. It really, 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 genuinely makes no damn sense. But you know what? Prayers to Chelsea Green. On a speedy recovery, girl, you deserve everything that comes to you, and I'm just glad that they caught all this and that you went through the procedure and you're perfectly fine and you're on your road to recovery. Shout out to Matt Cardona for being there and posting such a beautiful picture of his lovely, lovely wife while she's in the hospital, of course.
One of the things that I absolutely love, she plays such a bitch, on screen, does it so incredibly well. Her character work, I think, is among some of the best in the company. In-ring work, that is high up there as well. But you see interviews of her, and she always comes across to me as just a genuinely good human being. And I hope she's able to get healthy again soon and get back. And for the love of God, put her in the world title scene. I remember on the first season of Unreal, they mentioned the idea of, she'd be number 30. The last two would eliminate themselves. So number 30 would count down. She'd get in the ring and automatically win by default. Do that.
I would be for that wholeheartedly.
Like, she would be the perfect person to do that with.
I hope when she does come back, that she is either Queen of the Ring or wins the Royal Rumble, because I would love to have a Chelsea Green World Championship run, because talk about somebody who is worked her ass off to get to where she's at. That is one woman who has worked her ass off to get to where she's at, and she is so deserving of it.
I agree wholeheartedly with that, and I will say,
no, you don't.
That and we want to see Matt Cardona walking around wearing a women's title.
Yes, because that's God damn it. See, because that's why I want to see Matt Cardona wearing a women's world title or a WWE Women's Championship, going to God knows where, or even, you know what, have him wear it on SmackDown.
Yes.
Have him wear it and have him have one side with her plate and one side with his name plate. Like even when those little plates, I would just love to see it. Just to see it, it would be entertaining.
He tells the story that, when she was traveling, she won the women's tag titles. As the second the bell rang, he went on WWE Shop, ordered a replica of it, and had it sent next day delivery.
And he went to a show and showed up and said he was one half of the women's tag team championships. Yep. And that was probably the most beautiful moment. And I know I believe it was Chris Van Vliet, like he asked Chelsea Green in an interview if she knew about it, and she said no, not until the internet had told her that he did that. And that it was, she goes, I didn't know whether to feel flattered or feel disgusted by it. I just thought it was funny, and I thought it was
trouble for it.
Yeah.
You know what? If my wife won the women's world championship, or she won a women's title, I would be one half of, or I would be half of the championship. I'd be half of the women's champion. If my wife did it, I'd be happy too. Should I be carrying it on my shoulder, being like, yeah, look, that's her plate, that's mine, back over there. That's hers right here.
It was before the Van Vliet one, I think, where she mentioned that she went out, like as soon as she heard about it, she was at TV, and she went up to Triple H because thinking she was going to be in trouble, she was going to get fired, and she's like, he said, "Are you kidding me? It's hilarious."
Yep.
And you know what? He's someone that he loves his wife. Kudos to Cardona.
I got to say kudos to other people. We want to talk about hilarious. Yes, we'll talk about hilarious. So in AAA, I want to touch upon this discussion before we get into predictions. So AAA, we saw the contract signing between El Grande Americano and the OG El Grande Americano. And at the end of that one, we saw the return of the Creed brothers on AAA, putting El Grande Americano through the table. And tonight on Raw, we saw Mi Hermanos Americanos, Julio and Bruto Credo and El Grande Americano against Los Americanos and El Grande Americano. I got to tell you, watching the Creed brothers in the mask was hilarious. They did a great job tonight on Raw in the 6-man. I'm excited for Mask versus Mask on May 30th. And again, they kept the Creed brothers to go to AAA, and Paul said this perfectly. How come we couldn't keep a lot of the talent that we did let go and have them not go to AAA? Perfect example, if you watch LFG, Drake Moreau, who was on Evolve, and we were thinking, okay, he's going to be one of the Evolve talents that were getting released because we saw a lot of the LFG kids get released. He's going over to AAA because The Undertaker likes him. So it's like, why can't we put a lot of them over in AAA?
Again, people who were released, we already saw the Wyatt Six over there. I don't understand. Yep. And there are so many masked characters over there.
Yep.
In AAA, I don't understand why you just couldn't move them over there and let Mark do whatever he wanted to do with them. Let him run it and let him just do what he does. Hey, I sent you something right now, and this is very interesting because I saw Josh Vibes Up, and he was talking about how WWE pretty much took down all of his reactions, or he posted that they took down his reactions for. That's why if you weren't catching the stream live, like now he can't post them. And I don't know if that's happening to other content creators.
Oh, I will put that up right now. I see where you sent it to me. Okay. So I do have to put this also as well. Another prime example, because I was just looking at the AAA on the website. You have Eric and Ivar of of the frigging War Raiders over there in AAA doing stuff with the Psycho Clowns. Like, the War Raiders aren't even hardly on Raw. The last time we saw them on Raw, they got mollywopped by Obafemi, and now they're over on AAA. Like, you kept them. Like, I don't get it. And now it looks like, did you guys see during the tapings that, who was it, Katrina, who just signed there? Who was the one that just signed with AAA?
La Carolina.
Catalina, I said Katrina, I'm sorry. La Catalina, Lola Vice, and Bailey made a return. It looks like they're setting up a trio 6-1 with them against Los Toxicas. And I'm cool with that.
I'm here for it. I am ready for it, and I'm good with it.
All right. So the latest article is that WWE have seemingly tightened up restrictions on reaction content and clips, with multiple content creators reporting copyright strikes and takedowns since WrestleMania. Could this be the end of the reaction content WWE previously encouraged? This is from Ben Allison of Wrestling Republic. This could end up being an overreaction, but I'm beginning to fear TKO and WWE are attempting to silence fan criticism. Started with WWE rejecting ESPN journalist Andres Hale from having WrestleMania credentials after giving them a poor review, and now restricting reaction content at a time when WWE are getting more criticism from streamers. WWE were encouraging this type of content and regularly showing streamers clips during broadcasts even recently. I mean, I've seen that too. Like, they've been even getting like copyrights from UFC and TKO and all that. So they're really starting to go after that when it's like UFC wants to take them down. Okay.
And it's strange because Denise actually mentioned that tonight. She said that she had made a post, but she said it was about Joe Hendry, and I guess it was kind of like in sort of a sexual context, but it was just it was like a dirty joke, but WWE flagged her for it, and they took it down, and they took it down for her. So, and then, like I said, Josh Vibes Up posted not too long ago that his content was taken, that they took away his reactions to tonight. So it was just,
this is straight up from WWE. I got 15 emails about this on Friday. So yeah, I don't know why I'm getting copywritten by WWE, and I just looked to see if Conman and Santi were still posting, and they are, but this was for the IG, and then I lost the TikTok account I was posting to. It's _HillJosh. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Why are you coming after the content creators that
react to your stuff?
And I get it. You don't like the negativity, and you don't like that people are being negative. Then stop doing stupid shit. It's plain and simple.
Exactly.
You act like and I'm gonna say it. You act like Donald Trump, like all of a sudden because you want to act like the fact is that you don't like all the negativity. So guess what you do? You get mad, you throw a tantrum, and you're like, "Ooh, I don't want to have them on my show," or "I don't want to have." They're bad. They're bad. Okay, I'm good, but they're bad.
I gotta bring this up. So WWE in the recent recruits and the hires, we did see Zoe Hines in there for playing softball in college, and of course, she is the niece of R.F. Kennedy Jr., aka Raccoon Penis. And there has been the report out there that it's politically driven that she's there, which, duh. But I hope she does well. I truly do. It's just the fact of who her uncle is. That's my only problem. I have no problem with Zoe Hines. I don't know Zoe Hines, but I know her uncle is batshit crazy, Raccoon Penis.
Yeah, I'm the one that snorted fucking cocaine off of a toilet seat. So sure, I'm the bad person.
Yeah, we got friggin' her. We got Rhythm Nation Erica Kirk with her freaking black hat. Good God.
Oh my God. The internet is so undefeated. The internet is so undefeated. I'm sorry. That was just the laughs wrote themselves.
Her crazy eyes and just the dressing the way she did.
You know what it reminded me of?
Go ahead.
Back in like 97 or 98 when Big Boss Man came back to WWE as like the SWAT gear.
Yes.
Like you go from like the guard outfit
was in a tactical gear
to tactical gear. Like that's what that reminded me of. And like she looks like she wants to like the rebrand is not working.
So they took out, this is the AI clip. I'm taking out Rhythm Nation there, even though I love that song. But this was the AI clip of them making fun of Erica Kirk dressed like an assassin mixed with Rhythm Nation Janet Jackson.
Yeah, so you don't get copywritten because, you know, obviously that's just the thing that happens.
Yeah.
And then Janet Jackson coming in and looking at her. No.
It's just, again, the internet, like Paul has mentioned, is so undefeated. Okay.
But yeah, this fuckery that TKO is doing.
Yeah.
What it is going to be doing is it's going to drive more and more fans to AEW.
Yes.
Remember when I told you guys a couple months back, all Tony Khan had to do is absolutely nothing.
Yes.
To just shut the fuck up, not say a word.
Mm-hmm.
and
he listened.
And speaking
and
of something
crazy how, and we go back to some of the things that we mentioned. Oh, I don't know. Some Will Ospreay actually said on a podcast that said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't we counter program WrestleMania next year?" And who came up with that thought?
that would be Paul.
Us.
Word on the street. The bruv said when they do Saudi Arabia, we should do a show in America. Affordable ticket prices the same damn night. I said, yeah. Will Ospreay is about that life. Will Ospreay don't care, bro. See, this is what happens when you have people who don't give two shits about going to the WWE. Like I think Will Ospreay will be fine if he does never step foot in the WWE, and I think his legacy will still just be the same.
Well, if we know anything about in-ring WWE, Will Ospreay never better go to fucking WWE, bro. Because they'll nerf that motherfucker.
Do you agree with Will Ospreay? Do you think Tony Khan should counterbook a show, WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia in America?
But bro, do it, bro. See what happens. Shake it up a little bit, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay. We're all in agreement. Okay, so leave it with you guys.
And we will put that.
No, but I mean, it's just weird how all of a sudden, like it makes more sense. And I agree with Dan. What Dan said. Sit back, relax, and just let it happen. Because there ain't nothing that Tony needs to do but just sit back and let WWE release who they're going to release.
Sometimes,
and this would be his opportunity. This would be his opportunity to not only build AEW but build ROH into two completely different things, into two completely different companies under the same brand, and do something that WWE isn't doing. All with the exception of the fact that NXT and AAA are actually better than the main roster. So
again, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker are the best bookers in WWE.
Sometimes you just...
Who had that on their bingo card this year?
Sometimes you have to let a structure burn, you know, and WWE is rotten. It is rotten to the core. You know, it's been that way for a long time. This isn't something that happens, you know, overnight. But I've said it to you guys. I will say it again right here, right now. Within 5 years from this date, Monday, May 4th, 2026. So by May 4th, 2031, WWE will be sold by TKO.
That is a very bold prediction.
And everyone's saying, oh, they'll sell it's not going to be sold to Saudi. It's going to be sold to Tony Khan. I'm telling you right now.
We will definitely see that. And speaking of Tony Khan, one of his who is on his roster, before we get into the Backlash predictions and the 5 matches we already have announced.
Backlash.
Backlash. Prayers, love, and just overall admiration for Miss Rebel, who did announce that she does have Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. My heart broke watching that video. it just, we wish nothing but love for Rebel. That really is something that is heartbreaking. We all know people, myself included, who have had ALS in their families or loved ones, friends, peers. It's horrible, and we just wish nothing but love to Rebel.
It's
I go for it, Dan.
It's so much respect, and I mentioned it on our show the other day. So much respect to Tony Khan for helping Rebel out and taking care of her. He didn't have to do that.
No.
He could have just been like, oh, well.
Oh, well.
But the fact that he's doing that, you can't tell me that Tony Khan is not a good man.
I truly think he is a good man. I think some of his decisions are
a little questionable, but
but all in all, yeah.
We could talk about the wrestling side being one thing, and then talk about the compassionate person that he is being a totally, completely different, another thing. But we can see the genuine love that Tony has for his wrestlers, the wrestlers in his company, because obviously he takes care of all of them. This isn't just one particular wrestler that he's done this for. Obviously, he's done this for several other wrestlers. And him doing this is probably one of the most heartwarming things, I guess, compassionate things that you could do for somebody, and doing something unselfish for someone else, especially someone who's going through such a debilitating disease as ALS. And our prayers, our love to Rebel, and I know that she had been battling, trying to find out what was wrong with her for like the last 2 years at least. And she always kept saying, and even in her post, like she always knew something was wrong, something was up. She just the doctors couldn't quite figure out what it was. And then they told her it was one thing. And then the fact that it came back that it was ALS just makes it even worse, to know that. And, I feel for her. I really, really feel for her. And, I don't know what else to say, dude. I just want to say, our love and our prayers to you, girl. Seriously.
You said it perfectly, man. I didn't want to put it on a downer for everybody, but that was a huge story. And watching that video is just so heartbreaking, but it's great. We want to see people like you succeed. You're one of the ones in this life, Miss Rebel. So our love and our thoughts are with you, my dear lady. But with that being said, we will now go on to Backlash. As Dan, 5 matches have been in Backlash.
Thank God Danhausen did that. Just Backlash.
We're going to get into Danhausen. So the first match that we're actually going to predict is, the first hour, much like WrestleMania, is going to be on ESPN2. So one of the matches that they did say was going to be on ESPN2. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, the grudge match. Woo! Okay, so I get it because he cost him the match with Gunther at WrestleMania.
It's Backlash.
We saw what happened at WrestleMania with Gunther beating Seth and the Braun coming back. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good match. We saw the brawl tonight on Raw with Seth Rollins getting back up from that. It doesn't make any sense if Braun is coming back to beat Seth. I think we need a continuance here. So I have to go with he's got the dog in him. Ooh, Braun Breaker to win. Going to be a good match, but I'm just like, I hate to say it, I'm very meh with this matchup. I know it's going to be good, but I'm very meh with it. So I'm going to go Braun Breaker for the win. Paul, you, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins.
I am going to take Braun, but I just think it's going to be some sort of interference, some BS like that. I don't know if he's going to win it straight up, but even though I believe he should, but just Braun. Seth's going to put him over, as best way as he can. So, it just would be it would be hurtful if they make him lose.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense with the progression of where they're
but it's
going.
WWE.
But it's Nick Khan.
Yeah, Seth Rollins.
I think it's going to be
whatever
Braun.
AI tells him to do.
But see, here's where I think this is going to go long term. And it's probably going to happen soon. Vision is going to turn on Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is going to side with Roman again.
Yeah. We're already going back to the bloodline with what we're doing now, just with Jacob and the wrinkle in the NFTs.
Well,
I know.
Now rumors are saying that Roman might be dropping the title,
which we'll see when we get there. But yeah,
which I'm telling you, if you're gonna do it, Jacob's the perfect choice right now.
Agreed. So I think we're all in agreement on Braun Breaker.
I mean,
I think we're all in agreement over Braun Breaker.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
So the math is mathing.
Yes, it is.
See what I did there?
I know. Steiner math. I cannot believe that's already been 18 years now since Steiner math. That's crazy. One of the greatest promos ever in TNA history, guys.
Since his kids are in college now.
Yeah.
You suppose any of them's a math major?
I would laugh if they are. I absolutely would.
You know what? And Michael is 33 and a third of the RWT podcast. So
yes, I am.
I cannot take one of us out. Those odds drastically go down.
Exactly.
Petey Williams and Raka Khan looking at him like, what?
Like,
what are you talking about?
They're like, wait a second, huh?
At least she tried to keep a straight face.
Yeah, Petey Williams.
Petey Williams was just like looking at him like,
what?
Like, get me out of here.
Get me out of here. Well, speaking of,
if you take my 33 and a third and you multiply and you add my 25% and then you get 55 and something percent, and then it was just it was all a thing. And then
Petey, with him being a producer at WWE now, I remember a fan. He was doing like some pull apart, and there was a fan that just shouted the Steiner math at him. And like you can see him just, like trying not to lose it. Like just 18 years that's to me that is essentially the Lex Luger T-shirt promo.
Very much so. Now you go from something that just you want to laugh at, but it's not funny. You just cannot believe how stupid it is, because a lot of people are very much a comparison to what this was in 2019 with the dog food and practically any storyline. The next matchup we're going to is Trick Williams with Lil Yachty in his corner versus Sami Zayn, rematch for the U.S. title. So as of this recording, the funeral for the Gingerbread Man will be happening this Friday night on SmackDown after Sami Zayn kicked the Ginger Man and the Ding Ding. And yeah, that happened. So we're going to be having the funeral for that. Trick Williams is consistently getting over as a babyface. Sami Zayn is becoming that whiny bitch heel, trying to get the U.S. title back. Look, just do Cody and Sami already. We know the direction that they're going with that. I think just Sami has become so, it's like we've seen this story already. You're not going to win it. He's just become so unlikable, which is the point. And Trick is just so charismatic. And what pisses me off about it too is he doesn't need Little Yachty, but here we are.
Because they're trying to keep him as a heel.
Yeah. But he's not a heel.
Can we just release Sami Zayn already? And it's not a slight against him.
Mm-hmm.
It's that we know how fucking good Remy Sebi is. We know how good El Generico is. Let him fucking go to AEW.
Okay. Whew. So with that being said, I'm going to take Trick Williams. Dan, I'm guessing you're taking Trick Williams over Sami.
I'm going with who gives a fucking shit.
I feel you, man. I feel.
But you know what?
I will take Alex, Queen of the Ring, and say that there's going to be some sort of shenanigans and some fuckery, and then somebody's going to win, but whoever it is probably going to lose. So I'm going to take that type of fuckery and say it's probably going to be Trick Williams, but I wouldn't doubt it if it would be Sami Zayn. But I believe even if Sami Zayn loses, he actually wins.
I am in the point of this feud. I'm in the point of I don't care.
You're welcome, Alex.
I just don't give a shit about this match. Here's my thing. You keep Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa versus the Fatal Influence and put it on SmackDown this week, which that could be used as the 6-woman debut match for Fatal Influence on a pay-per-view. But no, they're doing that on the SmackDown before. So, okay. Whatever.
Remember, they don't want any more than 4 matches, so
this is true.
What's the point? So, and then you're gonna get about 40 minutes of matches, and then about an hour, about 2 hours of 2.5 hours of fucking commercials. So
Wheatley, so good. I'm drinking Wheatley.
And don't forget the obligatory, celebrity in the crowd in the.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, because that's always a cheap pop.
We need the celebrities. There are going to be more of them. We hear that you're big, but we're going to do
when
more.
there's some thin-haired orange clown at UFC. So
and they're literally, they only have those celebrities go out to that seat, they show them, and then that celebrity leaves.
It just whatever. I know they got to promote the people who are on Netflix, but a lot of them don't get a pop because nobody knows who the fuck they are. And I get it. I understand the Netflix tie-in, and then
the whole Stranger Things, themed episode, and you had a custom set, and not one person from the show.
No, it was just here's Stranger Things.
You're
telling me you couldn't go to one of the kids, one of the guys, and just say,
go to Bobby Millie Brown and be like, "Hey, can you kind of show up over here and be like, hey?"
And they were like,
"We'll pay you.
We'll pay you
X amount of dollars and use it as promotion for the new season."
No, they're cutting back on money right now because they don't make enough.
Well, that would have been Netflix paying WWE to do it. Advertising.
They're enough that they advertise it. The mat looks like a freaking a board inside of a fucking auto fucking detailer with all kinds of fucking other people's cards on this shit.
Mm-hmm. So before we go to our next match, because we're all in agreement thus far. Yeah, so the town hall happened. I know he said that they're monitoring, keeping an eye on the Saudi Arabia stuff.
Again, hold on. Yeah. The fuck are they doing? Who are they? Fucking Trump?
That's what he said. He said we're monitoring
all these fucking town halls, going out to places, talking to all these. That don't make you fucking smart. That don't make you fucking any better. When you're fucking advertising for fucking 8 hours on a fucking 4-hour show, and they only have matches for like fucking 20 minutes, how the fuck does that make you fucking popular?
So this is what Nick Khan said in the town hall. This is the first one. Nick Khan defended the WWE.
Fuck Nick Khan.
Fuck the Nick Khan. Nick Khan defended the WWE product from online criticism during a town hall meeting today. He characterized the criticism as coming from a vocal minority, citing how night 1 of WrestleMania 42 was less well received in comparison to night 2 of the show. He went on to read multiple messages or tweets from 2015 criticizing the product and appeared to use those examples to argue such criticism has historically proven to be unreliable.
Oh, yeah, because you want to talk about when Roman Reigns, how horrible everybody decided, hey, you know what?
That sucks.
I don't want to do this. Or, hey, Roman Reigns, oh my God, he was so horrible and so terrible. No, it's just that he was pushed fucking in front of everybody and nobody really fucking gave a damn.
And the other thing he mentioned in the town hall was that WWE would only run Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia and would not hold the surrounding Raw or SmackDown events there. We're only going if it's safe or if we're allowed there. We are monitoring with our heads of security internally and with our government affairs folks externally. The situation there, if U.S. citizens are allowed in at this moment in time, it is declared and deemed safe. We'll all be going there. Saudi is deeply desirous of getting WWE back there and getting events restarted, especially those that come from the United States. So we're monitoring the situation in the Middle East.
No, we're not.
No, you're not. You already have a backup plan.
You know what?
That's his way of saying, "Hey, guess what? We have a backup plan."
You know what what their monitoring is? Turning on Fox News.
Ooh, yeah. Well, speaking of something that is fun that we do monitor and love each and every.
I bet you Chucklefuck watches Fox News.
You're never gonna let that go.
Nope.
Speaking of something that we can't let go, but we love to hang on to, we now have tag team action here on the show, as it is Danhausen and his partner Hausen, whoever that may be, against The Miz and Kit Wilson. Look, I love the beatdown of The Miz, pretty much teasing that he's going to be Danhausen's mentor, and then Kit and Miz beat him up. Then now he has a mystery partner. A lot of people would like it to be CM Punk, Phillip Brooks. A lot of people, we joked and said, watch it's Jelly Jam, a.k.a. Jelly Roll. Some people said, since Michael Cole said tonight that his partner probably likes money, a lot of people are expecting, since there is history, Carmelo Hayes to be his tag team partner. Either way, whoever it may be, I'm going Danhausen and his partner Hausen over The Miz and Kit Wilson. Paul, who you going?
Make it AJ Francis. I'll be happy.
Paul, who you go with? Team Danhausen or Miz and Kit?
It'll probably be Doink the Clown for all we know.
Eugene.
Hey now.
Eugene. Yeah, even Eugene. Oh. Shane O'Mac.
Here comes the money.
Yeah. See, money? Huh?
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I got to go Team Danhausen. I've been enjoying.
I guess he's going to, you are cursed. That's what I'm going with. But I expect fuckery.
Dan?
I fully think it's going to be Team Danhausen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think they're going to do it because I don't think it's actually physically possible. I would love it if it was Elton Prince.
Neck surgery.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I think this would be a cool way to come back.
I agree.
Have him come
what
out
about Matt Cardona?
Matt Cardona. Yeah, that'd be fun.
It was interesting.
Okay.
Sean Spears. Shawn Michaels.
Cena House.
Look, I'm just throwing names out there. You know what? I don't know. I mean, the Boogeyman.
The Boo. I'm coming to get you. Hey, well, he does have history with The Miz. But yeah, no. A lot of people have been complaining because the 6-woman tag is on SmackDown and this is on Backlash.
Again, things that don't make sense that are actually happening. Why couldn't you have both matches on the fucking card? In which case, you could have this match literally be like 4 or 5 minutes of entertainment and then have the other matches and cut, I don't know, 40 minutes of fucking advertisements and commercials and people in the fucking audience. That would work. Again, back to fuckery and shenanigans and whatever happens.
Because we have to have the TurboTax commercial play. Now, this is
TurboTax. Tax season.
Fuck the taxes.
And if you haven't done your taxes, you have until April 15th.
Thank you, IRS.
Oh, wait. It already happened. Sorry, my bad. But I hope you got an extension.
So with that being said, we'll go to the next match. Speaking of no sense, it's teacher versus student. Io Sky versus Asuka. Look, I think this match is going to be awesome. It really is. I think Io's going to get the win. If they do have Kyrie come back just to finish the story and then that's it, that's bullshit. I would pull her back fully, and then we could put Beer. Shout out to Johnny Bev. Beer has been very vocal of bringing Io Sky and Kyrie Sane back as the Pirates. The friggin' the Genius Pirates or whatever the fuck they were called in NXT. The Pirates of the Sky, the Geniuses of the Sky, whatever they were. Like when they were tag team in NXT, like I love that too, and I agree with them. But the Sky Pirates, there you go. As I'm friggin' trying to think of it, I think that'd be cool. But if they have her come in, it makes sense to finish the story, even though it really doesn't, because that was literally the focal point of the whole entire story. But with that being said, Io Sky wins. It's going to be great, but they killed it once they released Kyrie. Dan, Io, or Asuka?
I love both of them. And just as an aside,
yes,
when we do our Backlash review,
Johnny Bev
will be joined by Mr. Beer, a.k.a. Johnny Bev.
So we're doing a review too? All right.
We got the live. If it starts at 6 o'clock, we could go live again because these motherfucking pay-per-views are starting so goddamn early.
We'll do it.
Yeah, but we're going to be sitting through 80 hours of fucking commercials, so,
That is true. That's true.
I mean, if you want to go live, we can go live. I'm just saying.
We'll do it live.
We can do a bunch of lives after pay-per-views, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, so Dan, Io or Asuka?
Io, because I love both women.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the next AEW pay-per-view.
That's what Paul's already said. Oh, can you tell that we're excited to be predicting Backlash? It's just this pay-per-view is just so, yeah. Like I said, it's the booking for me and everything that's gone on business-wise and politically-wise. Paul, Io or Asuka?
Kyrie.
Kyrie!
We want Kyrie.
Kyrie truth.
Hashtag we want Kyrie.
Kyrie
That's
truth.
all I want. That's all I want.
Why is
Fuckery
that?
and shenanigans.
Okay.
Last year, it was
Yeah.
our truth.
This year it's
Oh,
Kyrie.
oh. Are we gonna get Kyrie come out in a hood?
That's what I'm saying. Once they do that again.
How many times have we seen it in the last 8 years?
Hey, Jacob Fatu was on the phone on SmackDown earlier. One of the segments.
Jacob Fatu was on the phone. Maybe it was with Kyrie.
What if
She is a genius of the sky? I'm just saying.
on a side note, what if that is a wise man? What if that is a tough man? What if that is Haku?
Haku. All right, we'll hop right into
tell me that if Haku came out in the black suit that he used to wear when he was Ming back in the day, like people still talk about how tough that man still is.
So
there was an interview with Tama Tonga. They asked him. They said, there are stories of your dad being tough are legendary. Is he still that tough? And he said, yeah.
Can I tell you the correlation to how Jacob Fatu is using the Tongan death grip?
Yeah, we'll hop right into it. Roman Jacob Fatu for the World Heavyweight.
No,
Champion.
do you know the correlation to how he's using it? Who is Jacob Fatu's father?
Tonga.
No,
it was Tama.
No,
it was Tonga, the Tonga kid, right?
Yeah, aka Tama.
Okay, so and who was his tag team partner in the Islanders?
Haku.
That's the correlation. And it was funny. They shout out to Sam Roberts because Sam Roberts pointed it out, and I was like, "Hey, you're right. So yeah, that's how the correlation happened. So whoever he was on the phone with,
you fire the son.
Either his father,
but you bring in daddy.
Exactly.
I'm guessing it's either the father or the I don't know, uncle.
Or
yeah.
In the MFTs, Bloodline 2.0, who was Jacob consistently siding with? Yeah.
Tama Tonga.
There were reports of a face turn. Look at all the releases. SmackDown needs to replenish their tag division. So hear me out.
Oh no.
Jacob and Tama Tonga can be the occasional team, but Alatonga and Solo Sikoa as a tag team.
I like that.
I mean, I do believe Tama Tonga deserves so much of a single run.
Yeah.
We know everything he did in New Japan, so yeah, that's a guy that deserves so much. But anyway, so we're gonna get back to this match, and I say fuckery, shenanigans, and it is the Jacob Fatu is who I'm picking.
Ooh, okay. So I think with everything I mentioned, the powerhouse.
Sorry,
Fatu. I mentioned the fuckery of possibly Royce Keys with the powerhouse Hobbs tie in there. For me, is Roman just got this, and we've heard the reports in June, and he's not going to be on the shows going towards Saudi. I don't know, man. I think with what we got with Jacob Fatu, the Tongan death grip, and everything they're adding, I would not be opposed to it because I too am a Jacob Fatu guy. No all gas, no brakes. But if I had to choose, like Paul mentioned, fuckery, shenanigans, and everything in between, I gotta go Roman. I'm gonna acknowledge the tribal chief on this one. So Roman and Jacob Fatu for Paul. Who you going with, Dan? Roman or Fatu?
So remember after night one at Mania, we were talking about with the Oba Brock match. It was either gonna go very, very right or very, very wrong.
Yes.
It's being said that they really want to make Jacob one of the corner pieces of SmackDown. Roman does not need this.
No, not
He's
at
got
all.
Street Fighter coming out in a couple months. Hollywood's banging on his door. Plus, health-wise, he's not going to be around all that many more years.
No, not at all.
And I think he's even said it. He said, I'm on the backside of my career.
I think with Roman, everything that he's done, like the man deserves a break. And the man needs to explore. Go ahead.
Having said all that, I really think who should win versus who's actually going to, Jacob Fatu should win. And who do I think is actually going to win? We're going to get some BBS, as I used to call it, Mike. Bloodline bullshit.
I love that.
And Roman's going to win. And I think if you do that, the crowd is not going to be happy. Roman is supposed to be a babyface, but he's acting like a fucking heel.
They're going back to
Roman.
Yeah, well, they're going back to 2022. When all else fails, let's go back to the bloodline.
And also have two bloodlines going at the same time, but they're both heels. Yeah, make that make sense. Usos supposed to be faces acting like heels. If you have Roman beat Jacob, which I think they're going to, the crowd's going to erupt.
Yeah.
You talk about bad criticism now.
Yep.
It's going to get worse.
Well, speaking of something else.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I'll tell you what else I mean. So it was also announced. So besides these 5 matches, so those are our Backlash predictions. But that was not the only thing that happened, as John Cena will be appearing on Backlash to make history-making news, was the other announcement. So John Cena will also be at Backlash.
So he's going to tell us that WrestleMania 44 is going to be in Nashville.
Probably. But what he's saying, it's supposed to.
You know what? I'm just guessing. Maybe so. I don't know. Maybe he's going to come back and wrestle again. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's finally going to say we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus, I don't know, somebody. That. I mean, that is owed a receipt.
They did tease a Club WWE that he's been promoting. So maybe it's Club WWE. Maybe it's something. But either way, we'll see. I don't know.
Maybe he's going to be, a very nice tag team partner for somebody.
First of all,
we may not see anybody, though.
I would love that, but it just tells you how everything tickets-wise is. When in doubt, bring in John Cena.
Yeah, but how many times are you going to do this?
He's coming in just to give us some history-making news.
Look, you want history? Bring in Travis Scott.
Oh, God. Fiend.
Michael?
He hates that
Michael. Michael Charles Larkin, you better not even think about it.
You remember after Taker retired, they started bringing him back randomly?
All fucking episode. Every damn episode.
That's what they're doing with Cena. He's going to be the new Undertaker.
It's going to come out and induct somebody into the Hall of Fame?
Oh, my God.
Danhausen. No, Danhausen's already in the Hall of Fame.
He is.
Yeah.
He got a blimp. He got a blimp, goddammit. He got a blimp.
Yeah, he got a blimp.
Why did I think that they partially did that as a fuck you to Tony Khan?
I probably would. So that was back.
Did he want a blimp when he was in AEW?
Yeah. Like that's been his character's gimmick, like his entire, even back in Ring of Honor, was
give me a blimp.
He wants a blimp.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll give you. We give you all the goods and the bads and the uglies, and that's why we are the RWT podcast. So we hope you enjoyed our predictions, news, and everything. You can tell our excitement for this Saturday's Backlash.
Backlash.
But that's the best part of probably doing it, is just saying that. But we hope you enjoy. We'll be live this coming Saturday with our boy Johnny Bev, to discuss Backlash, all the outgoings and whatever. Oh, I'm just so mad. I know we're all very mad with this, and then we got AEW right after that with Double or Nothing. So
that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Double or Nothing more than any WWE paper.
You know,
we gotta do better. Go ahead.
Advertisement.
Within the next 4 months, AEW is likely to own the tag division in North America.
That is another very bold prediction.
New Day, Motor City Machine Guns, Loomis and Gacy, maybe.
Hey, now.
Although I think realistically they're going to TNA. At least that's my guess.
Well,
I can give you one, and I'm probably going out on a limb here.
Yes.
All in, Wembley Stadium, New Day, or New Era versus the Young Bucks.
Well, when there are no contract expires at the end of July, put them in there for Wembley. Go ahead. I would do it.
Have a mystery team. Like, remember how a couple years ago when the Hardys returned at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
And everyone, like, you knew it was going to be them, but...
We knew that they dropped the titles the night before, and we kind of, everybody was kind of like, will it be? Will it not be? Will it?
And then, there were... Rebby was seen with Senior Benjamin at, like, Access, and it's like... At that point, they weren't even trying to hide it.
Exactly.
Well, I will say this, folks. There's a lot more to go with that and everything. So be sure to stay tuned with us when we go to the weekend for Backlash. And all the things. Backlash. Before we close this out, where can we follow you on social media? The floor is yours.
Of course, you can follow me at the Dead Man of RWT, which is right there. You can follow my Twitter page, in which case all of my links will be down below. But you could also follow the official RWT IG page and the Twitter page, which will also be in my link tree below. Also, if you have a chance, check down the link below. You could also follow the RWT Facebook page, where all of us and a bunch of other characters and whatnot are all up on there, and show us some love. We all like a little bit of love.
We all like the love.
Mr. Daniel Crimmins, my brother, where can we find you?
Pundit's going to be dropping probably Wednesday-ish, hopefully. Did some stuff today, actually. Mike and I recently recorded a new episode of Uncaged where we discussed the Cruiserweight division.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure to check that out. Not sure what's going on with the TSK. Have not heard if there's plans to do Backlash or no.
Put out the nose, Mo.
Put out the show houses.
Put out the show houses. And Dan.
Sorry. Put out the shows, Mo.
Links will be in the description for Dan and Paul. My goodness. So if you want to follow yours truly, it's SM Show 1 or MStill92 on Twitter, Larkin_92, MLarkinMD on Instagram, StephenMikeShow.com and LFCfights.com. If you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, it's S&M Network Shows. You get the Stephen Mike Show. You get the RWT Podcast. You get Uncaged, Deep into the Heart of Wrestling. You get On the Mic with Mike. You get Pop Culture and so much more. So hit a like, subscribe, and comment. Don't be a chuckle fuck. And check out this fine channel. Dan is never, ever going to live that down with the chuckle fuck. Dan doesn't forget and he doesn't forgive, goddammit. So with that being said, for the RWT Deadman Paul Morales, for Daniel Crimmins, my name is Mike Larkin. We will see you in the next edition of the RWT Podcast. And
Backlash.
Backlash. Backlash. Backlash. Backlash.